Good morning, Kun Scott Vidai.
Nice
Thank
to
you very
meet
much
you.
from joining us today in terms of the friend.
Thank
in terms
you,
of the
Edward.
friend, and then we do about the media interview, and then support the Copper Gold Exercise 2020. And the first of all, I'd like to get maybe you can introduce yourself, what your responsibility to do with the exercise control group today.
Yes, sir. Thank you so very much for meeting with us during the middle of the exercise so we can talk about some very wonderful things that we're doing. My name is Scott Weedeye. I work at U.S. Indo-Pacific Command in the J3 training and exercises, and the folks in my branch and other many U.S. military personnel work to plan and execute Cobra Gold every year in Thailand, and we're very happy to be back, and we're very happy to continue some really good training, not only with Thailand, but also with the other countries that come to the exercise.
Tell me a bit about your structure, and then you manage the people in exercise control group with your counterpart from Thailand, and then other country.
Okay, so in this particular portion of the exercise, we're focused on the command post exercise, where we have a bunch of military planners come together from 7 different nations, and we learn how to plan and to direct operations in a crisis. In order to facilitate that command post exercise, we have a control group that runs modeling and simulation, that simulates government officials and also tactical forces in the field. And with my counterpart, Colonel Jorn, as the co-director, we inject actions into the scenario that the headquarters staff has to plan and to brief the generals and the admirals, and they learn on how to react to real world crisis, how to plan those.
Yeah, it seemed to me like you brought the experience in the real world situation and then put in the scenario in the Copper Gold exercise, and then test a lot of people to get in and then understand more and then interact with your plan, things like that.
Yes, sir. There are a lot of folks that are working in the control group that do have experience. We have military personnel in the control group. We also have civilian personnel who have been in militaries before. We have civilian personnel who have been ambassadors in other countries. And we also have the technicians that we need for the equipment, for the modeling and simulation. And many of them have a tremendous amount of real world experience that they apply to assist in adding realism to the scenario.
Yeah. In terms of the lesson learned or the expectation from this year Copper Gold, would you like to share from the few things that you have learned in this year?
Well, I think there's a lot of tremendous learning going on. Some of the folks are new to this. They've never planned at this level of complexity. So it's an environment where they're starting to learn. But we've also had certainly our senior leaders, our general officers, our flag officers that have real world experience, and their job is to really train the staffs on how to work together and plan together. We are seeing how individuals can take a very complex plan, and as it evolves and things don't necessarily go right, how they look for solutions, they talk to each other, so it's not just Army to Army, Navy to Navy, Air Force to Air Force, but how they look across the various services to do joint, so that the Army and the Navy are working together. And so they're working through those issues and learning how to plan much more complex military operations.
Okay. We both know that you have been involved in the Copper Gold for many years, and then I still remember I met you first time in 2006 in the functional of the Copper Gold exercise, and we get together from that point and then up until now, and we learn both sides together about the Copper Gold exercise. And also we know that about this year we list about 39 years. And then can you get more in terms of your side about the revolution from the Copper Gold exercise from the early period and then middle period and the current period?
Yes. That's a great question. My first involvement was in 2003 in Utapao, and then you and I met in 2006 in Nakhon Nayok. And I think the best way to summarize the evolution of the Cobra Gold exercise is as the world has increased in complexity, as different types of challenges present themselves to governments, to civilians, to militaries, to the international community in the UN, Cobra Gold has always remained fresh and relevant by looking at the challenges as they emerge, taking a look at how we can respond and support our people and our governments better and work together. And we continue to evolve this exercise. We're very thankful for the opportunity to share with you some of our ideas about how we think that we've developed together about how we think Cobra Gold can continue to evolve and maintain a fresh, new, forward-looking perspective about many of the challenges that we face now and we are going to face in the future.
Any other that can might be held a little bit from the security, regional security in terms of the ASEAN community?
Sure. Well, we're very fortunate to be able to work with a number of ASEAN militaries, certainly Thailand, but we also have Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore here. So that's a good core group of the ASEAN countries that are right around Thailand. And we also have other countries that are participating that also participate in other ASEAN dialogue forums, such as the ASEAN Defense Ministerial Meetings and the ASEAN Regional Forum. And so as we work together and we do more events, we see each other more, we get to know each other, we learn our respective cultures, how our governments work, how our militaries work, our strengths and our challenges. And we also, probably the most important thing is we develop friendships, we build trust, and we can communicate effectively with each other so that when we face challenges such as the December 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami relief operations, there was a tremendous amount of cooperation when military forces from many nations came to Utapao to work with Thailand and others on how to respond to a terrible crisis across the Indian Ocean. It affected very many people here in Thailand, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and other countries. So that's why we do this. It helps us get better so that when we face a real world challenge, we're much better prepared.
Another one that for the example, just like Nepal earthquake in that year. And then we got conjunction with the force that go maybe deploy them to the Nepal earthquakes.
Yes. That's another great example. The Gorkha earthquake that happened in Nepal in 2015, many of our nations deployed personnel into Nepal. We've worked together with the Nepalese military and the government before, and so that really helps to bring a more unified effort. We're more effective and efficient in our missions, and then we really work with a lot of unity of effort.
In terms of the your vision, that what do you think about the future from the Copper Gold? Maybe it look like some kind like your vision in the near future.
Well, certainly we rely on the guidance and the expertise that Thailand has as a leader in Southeast Asia. We certainly want to make sure that as Cobra Gold evolves, we're meeting the needs that the Thai Armed Forces and the Thai government has in terms of how to better prepare for that. So that's something that Thailand has to contribute to the exercise, and you do that very well. And we bring in other ideas about how to increase the complexity and the realism. Certainly there's a lot more that we can do. We can focus on ways to improve communications channels, information and intelligence sharing, protection maneuvers, sustainment, and other things like that a complex military needs to be able to do to be effective in real-world operations.
All right. So I'd like to finish the Copper Gold perspective.
Yes, sir.
And we do more about the tourist perspective.
Yes.
Because you get explore more in terms of the Thai and vicinity in terms of Thai culture, maybe Thai foods, cuisine that you thought if you can tell the world that what kind of thing that the people would like to come in Thailand, explore Thailand in your perspective of the tourist?
Yes. Well, I think the numbers speak for themselves. There's so many people that come to Thailand each and every year that are visiting all the time. It's the most visited country in the world in terms of tourism. So there's a lot that Thailand has to offer. I think the most wonderful thing is the kindness and gentleness of the people. The Thainess, which you really have to understand, is very attractive. People in Thailand are so friendly and easy to talk to. Certainly the food is wonderful, but the sights are great, whether that's in Kanchanaburi or Chiang Mai or
Up
down
north,
in Phuket
yeah.
or everywhere. There's always something to see and something fantastic to do and great friends to do it with.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.